Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bold Patent Show. It is April 19th, and we're live here across Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So welcoming all those that are joining us from those channels. I'm JD Hoovener, the owner and founder here at Bold Patents Law Firm, and I'm going to be with my co-host, Matt Colseth, here in just a few minutes, I hope. He is our trademarks expert here at the firm, and he's with us most every week, even when he's on vacation in Hawaii. So I expect him to join us here shortly. If you're joining us for the first time and you're watching this after the fact, or maybe you're pre-recorded, give us a like and share this with your folks on social. I want to get this to be a thriving community here. We're attorneys. We want this to be a non-confidential, fun, lively discussion, interactive. And so live comments are encouraged. So please bring those on. I want to make sure everybody knows that we're going to prioritize those first. And so if you missed us this week, we'll be here every Wednesday at 1:30 on the Pacific Coast and 4:30 on Eastern time. So hello out there. I'm going to be talking about trademarks today, looking at the whole spectrum, everything from searching, right? Is your brand something that can be protected? Is someone else already using it? Maybe you might be worried about infringing someone else's mark, to the application process. And then finally, once you've got it submitted, working with that examiner at the United States Patent and Trademark Office to get through any potential objections, rejections, or oppositions. Okay, we'll talk about all three of those, hopefully, as we get moving forward. And then for those that have asked any AVO questions or have sent us questions over the week, we'll get to those at the very end. And about midway through the broadcast, we'll do a short clip of Shark Tank. I've got an interesting one, which has got sort of a unique name. I thought that would be apropos for today's topic, covering trademarks. So let's get into a little bit of the main subject here. What I want to do is, first of all, before I get into that, post our link for action takers. We do this every week, but I want to make sure everybody's got the link. This is our live link. And if you take action and get a hold of us by scheduling a free 20-minute session, you will get a free PDF of this book behind me, Bold Ideas, The Inventor's Guide to Patents. It's got all the tips and tricks. It's my knowledge dump of everything I know about patent law, as well as the difference between patents and trademarks, as well as copyrights and trade secrets, which really cover the whole umbrella of intellectual property. So if you're basically starting at zero and you want to just get familiar, get educated about what this is all about, what you might have created, this is the tool. And I encourage every single inventor, every entrepreneur starting a new business to get educated before you go hire an attorney even, right? Get to know what you're getting into so you can understand the process. It's much like, I would say, selling a home. You're not just going to hire the first realtor you speak with. You're probably going to do some research, look at the market, maybe evaluate your options for buying another home, and look and see what kind of professional you want to work with. We're not a firm for everybody here at Bold. We're totally virtual, no in-person meetings, no physical office space that we permanently reside in. But we work from our home office and help inventors and business owners from afar. And we do things like this, sort of non-traditional live format for engaging with clients. So totally. Again, bring those live questions on throughout this broadcast. My trusty co-host, Matt, has not chimed in yet. So unfortunately, I think we're going to have to wing this. I'm a patent attorney, and I sort of pretend to be a trademark attorney from time to time. So I'm going to do my best and get through Trademarks 101 solo here. Now, on the trademark side, what I do want to show, and if I can, it'd be kind of cool, is our trademark process. Maybe one of the best ways to kind of explain this. We got Trademarks 101. Yeah, let's see if we can get trademark process. I can share my screen and we can kind of go through this together. Here it is. Okay. Let's present. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is our simplified version. Let me go to slideshow mode so we can get a little more zoom in. So looking across this ABC trademark application process flow, let's start even before we get to A, all right? This little black caret right here, the initial consultation. Huge, right? Really important, right? You're taking a big step and you're trusting in an attorney, trusting another human with your brand, right? Your baby, the name of your company, maybe it's the name of your product, how you're going to be presenting yourself to customers. So we're going to discuss eligibility. Okay. Is the brand, the logo, the trademark you're going after, is it eligible to get federal trademark protection at the USPTO? Not just typically, which is what a lot of business owners start out with, is just state trademark protection with the Secretary of State in their distinct LLC, or maybe it's the trade name that they've registered at the state. So eligibility is first and foremost, right? Does this fit? Is it merely descriptive, or is it a generic term you're trying to use? Those are likely going to be ineligible. And then we'll talk about ownership, right? This is important. If you're starting a company, likely it'll be you as the founder, the owner. But if it's more complicated and you have a couple of different people involved in the company, maybe even you're an employee or one of the C-suite, you'll need to be clear about who is going to own that brand. Is it you individually, or it will be the company that is the applicant for the trademark? And then this is a really, really big piece, and some will kind of gloss over goals and areas of commerce, but this is probably the most vital. And if Matt were on today, he would talk about this, in that we are we're not short term, right? Trademarks are not once and done, not something to be quick about. And I know it's unfortunate that a lot of entrepreneurs do make their trademark filings on their own. Yes, it's affordable. Yeah, you can do a lot of things on your own, but without the right forethought, you can shoot yourself in the foot, right? If you only, for example, if you're an electronics manufacturer and you're making devices, right? Internet of Thing devices, and your first product that you spend years on is this watch, right? Let's say it's similar to a smartwatch, and you secure protection over um, watches, right? And your brand name, let's say, is Bold watches, all right? Well, and you may get protection for that term, Bold, for watch design, all right? Whether it be the hand, the band, as well as the watch face and jewelry. And if that's all you get, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get protection for any other type of device because you've locked in to a specific type of device. So think about how your business is going to be structured, not just looking at the one product, the first product, but think of where you're going to be 5 to 10 years down the road. So that's where we say goals of the business and business planning. So what I will say here on the next step, which is step A, in this simplified flow, is the search. Okay. And it will take us, right, Matt and his team, himself, 2 to 3 weeks. And, just for you insiders, I'll let you know it's a lot quicker than that, but this is sort of the standard flow. And we can get an answer on, is it available? Can you register, Bold for jewelry or for wearables and apparel? Is that available across the whole country? So not just in your state, or are there other confusingly similar marks that will probably come up when the examiner gets a hold of it? So the value of the search is basically puts us in the shoes of the examiner ahead of time. So you really get to be wise about how to file, what rights to seek, what classifications to apply for, and that type of thing. So if it's following the traditional path, you're actually going to skip B. B is in gray. We'll come back to step B. And you'll go to step C, which is the principal register application. And to get it done right, it will take upwards of a month to get all the ducks in a row to make sure you've got the right evidence, right? The right, what's called a specimen, to provide evidence that you're actually using that mark in commerce. Now, Matt could go into more detail about what evidence is best, but I will just say, as long as it's clear that you're actually on sale and currently delivering the goods or services that you're selling using the mark. And oftentimes, in present day, most commerce is done online. And so as long as you can show a website, a screenshot, evidence that you're using that mark on your way that you're marketing, or through sales, this is the way to do it. So that is the beginning, right? The application phase. And then it becomes now what's called prosecution. It's in the hands of the examiner, the examining trademark attorney. Yeah, that's right. The examiner is also an attorney. So they do their own diligence. They'll conduct their own search and either allow it or provide some rejections based on what they see across the market for the different classifications. So I'll stop sharing there and see if we have any live questions. I don't see any yet at this time, so we'll just press on. What I want to do is talk about kind of this area after prosecution. So we talked about the 3 steps: patent searching, application drafting, and office actions. Right? This is rejections, objections, and a specific type of problem that can come up during trademark prosecution is the opposition phase. So you're almost to the end. You've convinced the examiner that your mark is registrable and available. They're going to allow it to be registered. But before it gets to that point, a 30-day window is where your application will get published and say, hey, I want to register bold jewelry, okay, or wearables. This is the time, it gets published on the Gazette, and large companies and some small companies will watch and monitor this. And they'll say, hey, look, anybody that's opposed, this is your window. You have 30 days to oppose this mark or forever hold your peace. Okay. And it'll get registered. And so this is when larger companies, those that are trying to make a point about maybe enlarging, right, their own scope of rights that they currently protect, they'll say, yeah, we oppose the registration of this mark for reasons. And there's a certain response rate, right? So the applicant now has a certain amount of time to respond, and it's a little mini court case, right? It's decided before the TTAB, the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board, to see if it should still get allowed to register, right? If the party that's opposing the mark has merit, or if the applicant wins out. Okay, so it's a nice way to get something settled if it's a close call. Maybe there was a competitor watchmaker, right? The example I'm giving is Bold Jewelry for making watches. Maybe there's a company out there called Bald, right? BALD, Bald watches, right? Maybe they have their Bald Eagle is their trademark name for their jewelry or watches. They'll likely oppose. They'll say, you know what, bold and bald is too close. Our customers might get confused. And so it'll then be up to the Trademark Trial and Appeal Board to determine on the merits and try to put themselves in the shoes as if it were a jury. Would a reasonable consumer, right? Is it reasonable to think that they would be confused about bald versus bold jewelry? And there's arguments and some legal standards that come into play. Again, I would want to rely on Matt Kulseth on our team to help provide some of the details on what they would look at and what evidence you might provide during that little mini court case. But that is sort of the last wicket to clear. So if you're able to get past that opposition period, it is registered on the principal register. There's only one more thing after that. And I know Matt has talked about this before. There's this sort of magical time period. So once it's registered, after a period, I think it's 5 years. Don't quote me on that. Matt would know for sure. But there's this point to where if there's been no issues for 5 years post-registration, there is it's sort of a untouchable status, right? So as long as you keep using that mark in commerce, there is no way that they can say, even someone that came earlier can argue or make an opposition because it's been so long, right? The other rights holders sat on their rights. They haven't defended what they believe is their trademark. They let 5 years go by. So that's enough time for the trademark office and the TTAB says, sorry, you're out of luck. Okay, that's a lot of me talking. No questions in yet. I want to just get this over to our Shark Tank clip. So let me share my screen. I'll switch audio and then hopefully we'll get that going. All right. Check, check, check. I see. I've already been on the MacBook audio. Okay. Well. All right, let's have a look.
Next into the tank is a platform to help you explore your passions.
I'm calling. I'm calling every single one of you out. I'm calling myself out. All this talk about dreams and drive and destiny. Countless conversations about what we love. Inspirational quotes and motivational mantras. We're all taught, and I've had enough. Hello, Sharks. My name is Cash Shake. I'm the founder of Be Somebody, and we're seeking $1 million for 10% of our company. We built the world's first experience marketplace with a vision to pioneer experiential learning. On our platform, you can learn anything that you're passionate about by booking experiences with talented people around you. You book them online, and you meet up in person for a hands-on learning experience. And the hosts of our experiences, who we call passionaries, get to make money doing what they love. So Robert, if you want to add ninja skills to your already sexy repertoire of scuba diving and car racing, you could book an experience with Ninja Warrior Travis Brewer.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Damn. Whoa.
And Dave McKev,
Very
ladies,
cool.
if you guys wanted to ignite your dormant passion for dance, which I know y'all have, you could book a group experience. And you can learn anything from ballet to ballroom to Bollywood. Yeah.
Woo, wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Woo! And Mark, you can book a soccer experience. You can learn from the best two-time World Cup champion, two-time Olympic gold medalist, Christine Lilly.
Wow.
Yeah. What's up, Christine?
Hello,
How you doing?
Ryan. How are you?
Good.
Hello, Sharks. I'm here today as a Be Somebody passionary and someone who truly loves this company and everything it stands for. And they will host all our soccer experiences exclusively on their platform.
Sharks, we really believe we have the right mission, the right movement, and the right model. And we would love for all of you to join us on this world-changing journey. Thank you so much to our amazing passionaries and Be Somebody.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you, guys.
Great.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
So back in 2009, I was 7 years into my role at Procter & Gamble, the largest consumer products company in the world. I was leading social marketing for a lot of our bigger brands like Tide and Old Spice. And I just turned 30. I was going through a breakup, and I was trying to figure out what my purpose was in life. And that's when I first started to realize as soon as you start to focus your mind and your heart and your spirit and your soul on your passions, the universe starts to open up doors and unlock windows you never thought possible. And I started to learn the power of this word because it's intuitive and instantly personal to people. When people around the world hear Be Somebody, it becomes about you and about.
All right. So I want to show you guys how to use the trademark electronic search system. And I was going to do this without you guys seeing it, but I wanted to show what the tab looked like. So you go to TESS and you just go to Google, test2.uspto.gov, and we'll forward you to this page. And you can just do a simple, basic word mark search. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but back on the screen here, you can see they've got, here, I'll share this one. He's got Be Somebody with the circle R. So when you have a circle R, that means you're declaring that it's a registered mark, Be Somebody. And I'm actually curious to see whether the hashtag is part of it and the period is part of it. So to kind of find out more about it, we can go to the public search system. And I'm just going to type in the letters first. Be Somebody. Okay. Look at there's actually 4 listings here. And I put in live and dead just to kind of as an explanation here. There's the hashtag Be Somebody, which is live. There's the non-hashtag Be Somebody, which is dead. Maybe it was registered a long time ago. And I'll just go from the bottom up just to kind of look at some of these. So this first one does have the hashtag Be Somebody with the period for clothing, shirts, shorts, sweatshirts, and jackets. And its first use was in 2011. So quite a long time ago. And I believe this is this individual here, Shak Kashif. It was published for opposition in 2012, and it's been registered for over 10 years. So, and you can see they have to renew it at 8 years, and it was renewed already. So that one's live with the hashtag. It's been around quite a while. Let's go back to this other one, which is dead. This was canceled. It looks like they went for the trademark without the hashtag, and then let this one get canceled. Maybe they wanted to lean into that hashtag because there was an issue with someone else already using Be Somebody. There's another filing here. Let's take a quick look. This was all canceled as well. And the current one is the same as the one before, although this one was applied for in 2016. So there's a separate trademark application because the first one, as you saw, was just apparel. And that's a common mistake that can happen when you're an individual filing on your own. And the scope of rights on this first one, you can see registration ending in 141 just covers those things, right? Sweatshirts, jackets, shirts, and clothing, right? Like I was saying, just the watch. And then they didn't necessarily think about at the time of filing that, hey, we might actually be online. We might sell things in an online marketplace, want to be able to sell a whole lot more. So you can see this is a much more diversified listing, international class 42, covering mobile technology, online social networking. I'm not going to read all of this, but it's a massive undertaking. So this is a proper scoped trademark application. The only potential issue is what you can see that was published here in 2016, registered in 2017. They sort of got lucky that there wasn't already another user between 2012 and 2017. Cool. So it's good for them. They are registered and they're using that properly to have the circle R. All right, let's get back into this. All right. We'll see about 2 or 3 more minutes.
Soul on your passions, the universe starts to open up doors and unlock windows you never thought possible. And I started to learn the power of this word because it's intuitive and instantly personal to people. When people around the world hear Be Somebody, it becomes about you and about what you love. It becomes about your personal passion, whether it's photography or car racing or fashion. That's what's powerful about it. And as soon as I started to really see that there was something there, I got a chance to leave P&G and go lead social marketing at GoPro. Working for somebody you know well,
Cash,
Nick
you're doing a lot of talking,
right,
and you're not getting anywhere right now.
Right.
What's the end product?
Let me show you guys. So we built an iOS app. This is my profile. You see all your profiles right here. Okay. This is my profile page. If you hit that little plus, it opens up all my passions. You can add as many as you want. You can create them. And then our algorithm takes everything you're passionate about, then shows you experiences around you in your local area. It's an experience marketplace. Think about Airbnb when you're booking houses. Here you can book an experience, and then you can book it on the
individual
platform.
training. What's a
Great
typical
question.
fee?
We take 20% of every experience that's booked on our platform. On average, $40 an experience.
You actually have to aggregate a whole bunch of passion areas.
Exactly.
By the way, I love your name, Cash.
Thank you.
But unfortunately, I've learned that happiness can't buy money. So I've got to understand how fast you can scale this thing.
Right.
So
Great
I
question.
can make cash.
Right. So what we have a global movement that reaches 5 million people. That means 5 million people a month are either dropping this Be Somebody hashtag. If you guys search it right now, like get on your phone, search any.
But that doesn't mean it's attributable to
is
you.
that of your company or just in general Be Somebody?
I was the first person in
But
history
even
to
if you
trademark
trademark
hashtag
it, you just
in
put in
2011.
hashtag and B, it'll pop up and someone could still click on it. So it doesn't mean
Right,
necessarily it's
but
related to you.
we own every asset with Be Somebody.
And that's fine.
Right. So it's
great
kind of
for
like
branding.
GoPro. Like we branded the fisheye.
We're just
Anytime
trying to
it's-
see what connects to revenue.
Right, right.
But Cash, I'm a little confused what the platform is. Is the idea we just get together and do an activity we like whitewater rafting? Or is it a training platform where I go to an expert whitewater rafting person?
Great question. I wanted to get back to the scale question. I think that's important. The number one way we found to scale is through strategic partnerships. You guys just heard from Christine Lilly.
How do you protect yourself against Barbara and I? We go whitewater rafting, a big jagged rock comes up. Somebody pushes her
would
off the
like
boat.
that,
She cracks her head to the white meat.
Right.
Before her husband gets a brand
Wow.
new sexy wife, he
Right.
sues somebody.
Right.
How do you protect yourself against lawsuits like that?
Right now, we haven't had that problem. We know we're going to have to figure that out as we
What would be the answer if you
scale.
had that problem?
I think that's the reason we're raising capital, because we
so
need some.
we could lose it in a lawsuit.
To insure yourself,
Well,
or
no, are
do you
you
have
insured?
a disclaimer? I
Yeah,
mean, what happens?
So wait, how long have you been offering experience?
12 months in Austin, Texas,
But-
and
but
24.
he
So
has
12 months just as a beta, you said.
Yeah.
So
what are
are
your
you
sales?
open to everybody yet?
Yeah, at the end of 2015, we decided our focus is scale. So the first 6 months of 2016, we've been closing partnerships. Community.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap up. So I would say, okay, my critique of that pitch, obviously we didn't get to see the whole thing. The Sharks were really going after him for not necessarily having a solid pitch, I guess, proposal or a way to mechanize getting money. He did say he was charging 20%. Well, I'm not necessarily putting myself out as a business expert. There is an issue, right? He hasn't actually been able to demonstrate cash flow. And there's a major issue of kind of, yes, everyone's using this hashtag, but are people really, is there a problem, right? Is there a problem that is being unsolved? And this sort of app is interesting. And I think it's compelling to some people to have a passion. But are they willing to leave the Facebook groups or leave the other networks, the local Parks and Rec, to look for another solution? I'm not so sure that was convincing, right? And so I think that's always something that I look for when I'm listening to a pitch, is clear identification of the problem. And this may be an example of a fun, innovative solution to a problem that doesn't exist. But I will say, kind of from intellectual property standpoint, trademark registration, I think, was quite amazing. He is correct. He was able to get the hashtag as part of the trademark registration. That's the first time I've ever seen that. And he did it back in 2011. So that's innovative in and of itself in terms of getting protection for his name, apart from the business plan issues. From a patentability perspective, things that jumped out to me were the interface. Okay, you saw the iOS app, the way that you could scroll through the passions of each person. That seems unique in terms of having that sort of delineation. The organization of information and pictures can be protected. Much like you probably, if you haven't seen an iPhone already, you've got these different apps that sit on the front of it, right? The organization, the appearance of the squares, that's protectable. And there is a design patent on a graphical user interface. So if anything, that's where I would lean in. I didn't get to see the technology, the software, how it's actually doing the analysis, or if there's AI or machine learning and baked into that passioneering that they were talking about. But from an initial standpoint, I would say design patents is probably the number one way to go for protecting the graphical user interface. But again, I think the business case was not so solid. All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap up. I'll have more next week. I'm going to be collecting all your questions. We're going to be on a break. I'm doing a live 5-day challenge next week. So the week after, we'll be back. So look for your market calendars for May 3rd. We'll be live again here. But all those, thanks for joining us, and appreciate all the feedback and comments you've been sending over the week. But continue to like and share this with your network on social. We'll be here every Wednesday at 1:30 Pacific and 4:30 on the East Coast. Take care, everybody. Go big, go bold.